Well, the thorny question of how to choose Hong Kong's leader is almost 20 years in the making. Dr. Dibyesh Anand lectures in politics and international relations at the University of Westminster. He joins us now. Well, still unanswered after such a long time.
It is. I mean, what you have to see is China said it has promised universal franchise, so every person in Hong Kong can vote. But the problem, of course, is at one level they're promising democracy, but the level they have made it very clear that they'll only allow 2 to 3 candidates to be sort of in the pool, and the 2 to 3 candidates will be the ones selected by a pro-Beijing committee.
Actually, can I just say I remember Tung Chee-hwa being elected, and he was very, very finely vetted, and the situation hasn't changed at all, has it?
It hasn't. In fact, it's going worse, because in one sense, what they have done is, now the Hong Kong Legislative Council, it can reject this proposal. But if it rejects the proposal, then it's stuck with the current system, which in any case elects pro-Beijing loyalists. So they have an option of either going with pro-Beijing loyalists who's elected by few people, or pro-Beijing loyalists elected by the entire population.
So the pro-democracy campaigners, the protesters at the moment, they're not likely to get anywhere, are they?
I mean, you never know with these situations what would happen. But at least maybe with large-scale protests, it may expose Chinese claim that it is allowing one country, two system. So in one sense, it may expose the system, and who knows, it may have some influence within China also. At this stage, it's likely that they'll crush the protesters.
The Chinese have this saying that there are two eyes of the dragon, there's Shanghai and Hong Kong. They're not really going to do anything too much to upset the economic stability of Hong Kong at the end of the day.
No, but you remember that when we are talking of 1997, the handover period, I mean, in 90s, at that time, Hong Kong was the rich part. Now Shanghai is in one sense even more powerful. So what China is doing is, it doesn't want Shanghai to become like Hong Kong. It wants Hong Kong to become like Shanghai, which is economically, if you have to be vibrant, please be vibrant, but politically you have to be completely domesticated. But Hong Kong people are refusing to sort of accept that.
The current chief executive is very on message with Beijing, isn't he? He's saying that the decision was a major step forward for development of the society. I mean, it's basically, you know, he approves of it.
He has to approve, because
exactly,
he
no
has
choice.
to live in the system. But remember, even yesterday when they made this decision, I mean, announcement, they used the word love. They said the person who will be elected has to love motherland, China, love Hong Kong. But motherland comes first. And today they said that we do not want people to be confused. So that is why we are allowing only 2 to 3 candidates. A very certain kind of paternalistic attitude they have, that people don't know what's good for them. So we have to tell them what's good for you. And you have to choose between monopoly. It's like 2 or 3 people and you choose one of them.
I suppose at the end of the day, you can't have there's not a possibility of real violence flaring up in Hong Kong, because it is totally under Beijing's control, isn't it?
It is, and remember, one of the politicians of China, I mean, one of the important state government leader, he did say that you have to remember there's also PLA garrison there.
Exactly.
So they're reminding that.
I mean, do you remember those shots of the PLA crossing the border on the night of the handover? That was the shot of the evening.
It was, and at the same time, remember, I mean, at this stage, they know that a lot of media attention will be there internationally. But because of news of Syria, Iraq, it may not be there. And because China is economically very powerful, remember, for the government in China, Beijing, most important thing is stability, or rather control over people within China. So what they don't want is for major protests to take place in Hong Kong, which may have influence over China.
Indeed. I mean, they're threatening to do the protests and take over the financial district.
That's what they have threatened. But you remember, China has 2 tools. One is the military part, but second is also financial. This is why what they've done is, and also demographics. So they've encouraged migrants from mainland China to go to Hong Kong and reduce the impact of Hong Kong people. But also they're using the financial muscle and getting very rich businessmen to sort of, most of them, to kowtow to Beijing and accept that Beijing is the right way forward.
Okay, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.